By a show of fingers, who is less anxious about the state of the economy today compared to when Trump took office on January 20th? Who is less anxious about the economy? None of you. By a show of fingers, who's more anxious about the state of the economy today as compared when Trump took office? All six of you. Kimberly, why?
I mean, it's getting harder and harder to afford things. I mean, it still really is. I mean, and we're just kind of told, hey, you just gotta bear with us. You just gotta bear with us just a little bit more. And um it doesn't feel like it's getting any easier. And the days already feel longer anyways. So it just doesn't feel like, anything's gonna happen positively in like middle class us. It still feels like we're kind of left behind.
Okay. Curious, what's causing that anxiety for you?
Um, Definitely just inflation. I think things are getting expensive. And also the tariffs. I don't know what's going on, with those. Some days, we got tariffs on the country. Some days we don't got tariffs on the country. So it's kind of like almost like confusing a little bit.
Okay. Anybody have something that's different in terms of what's causing you economic anxiety, other than what Jarius and Kimberly mentioned? Shauna?
It's that, and then all of the impact that has happened as a result of Doge and the insecurity with jobs on parts of our economics that have been rather secure areas for employment. When we look at education, that has always been maybe not great employment and economically, but it's been a rather secure area for employment. When you look at what's happened with government positions, there's been a level of security in those types of positions, and these jobs are no longer secure. And there's a great deal of insecurity around it, and it's not there, and it's very gray as to what success looks like now. How is it being measured? And that's really concerning.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'd like to know who you think is more responsible for the state of the current US economy, Joe Biden or Donald Trump? More responsible, Biden or Trump? By a show of fingers, who says it's Biden? That Biden's more responsible for the state of the current economy. None of you. Who says it's Trump? All six. Why aren't you guys saying Biden's responsible? Wasn't he the president for the last 4.5 years?
Because a big part of why the economy is so bad right now is the general immediate fear people have. Normally, it takes years to move an economy this size, and that's true. But it's the anxiety that we just talked about, which everybody has, which is right here now, which is shifting the economy. Like Trump talked he keeps talking about, getting the illegals out and bringing jobs back to America, yet he shuts down Job Corps, the one and only free program the country had to train legal Americans to do this type of blue-collared work. It's shut down. It's completely irrational. Doesn't make any sense. So where do we get these roofers from or plumbers from? They come from Mexico because we don't produce them. It's nonsense. That's part of this anxiety that we're living every day, which is why we see the immediate effect.
Okay. By a
If I
show,
can-
go
Sorry.
ahead. Please, Karen, go ahead.
I'm just going to piggyback on what he said, and I think and also what Kimberly said about how we keep being told just to wait and it'll get better. And how long do we have to wait? We have no time frame. We don't know when things are going to get better, when prices are going to go down, when rents aren't going to be astronomical. They give us no idea.
No, he has no plan for that, really. He has a think everything he always talks about what he's doing and what he wants to do, and how, well, we're going to suffer a little bit, but doesn't have a plan for us.
Exactly.
Well,
And that's
while we're
what,
doing this, while these tariffs are in place and inflation is up, we're going to do this for the Americans. No, there's not a single word of that. It's just suck it up.
right.
If I had $4 billion, great. I could suck it up indefinitely, but I don't. So,
Got it.
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off there. Um, so help me understand this. Karen, you support Trump? Greg, you support Trump?
For the most part.
Mhm.
This isn't giving you pause?
Yes, it is. This is one of the issues that gives me pause, but there's,
No, I think there's deeper issues that the previous presidency, got in motion. Just some very basic things that the one thing that it's so basic, but it's a huge issue to me is this whole gender thing. There's two genders, and
Okay.
try to brainwash children at a young age that there's more. It's disrupting the very fabric of our society.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to cut you off, Greg. I just want to make sure I understood. So that's your priority. That was a big issue for you, and Trump is working on that.
Yeah, that's a huge issue.
Got it.
Enormous. Yeah.
Karen, what about you? What accounts for your ongoing support for Trump, given your concerns about the economy and what you just said?
well, that's one of them. And what Greg just mentioned. And like I said before, he's keeping his word, doing what he said he was going to do. I just wish that we'd have a better idea of what the actual agenda is and what kind of time frame we're looking at.
Okay, got it. By a show of fingers, this is for all 6 of you. Who thinks President Trump has made a good case as to why tariffs are necessary? Thinks he's made a good case as to why tariffs are necessary. None of you think so. So I'd like to know whether you support President Trump's actions on tariffs, oppose his actions on tariffs, or don't think you know enough yet to have an opinion either way.
Don't know enough yet.
Hang on a second, I'm going to ask for a show of fingers. So by a show of fingers, who supports his actions on tariffs? None of you. Okay. Who opposes his actions on tariffs? 5 of you do. Kimberly, you're in that group of 5? Okay. And Karen, no opinion.
Yeah, I got to be different.
That's all right. So why are you opposing his position on tariffs? Butch, what's your opposition rooted in?
Well, I agree that something needs to be done and that there needs to be some type of tariff, but the way it's being carried out is it's just like a bull in a china shop, basically, and that's not diplomatic. These type of things require diplomacy.
Okay. Other reasons why people oppose the president's actions on tariffs, different from what Butch said.
You just need.
Actually, Greg, let me hear from some other folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shauna, why do you oppose the president's actions on tariffs?
There's no plan, and it's been erratic. It appears to be an opportunity to manipulate the markets. And I really want someone to investigate where and who's actually gaining financially every time these tariffs are being threatened and then removed.
Okay.
I'm just curious what's really happening.
Got it. Okay. Any other reasons why people oppose the president's actions on tariffs?
Yeah. I just don't think that the economy right now is built to like handle these tariff negotiations or whatever the Trump is planning to do.
Say that differently. I didn't fully understand what you meant.
Oh yeah. So I don't think that that the economy is built right now enough for strong enough for these tariff like the negotiations and all these changes that are going on.
So,
I think
so you say
Too weak.
So you're saying the economy isn't strong enough to handle these changes that the tariffs would create. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So I believe if the economy was a bit better, inflation was down, then yes, go and talk to these other countries to try to get these rates and things down, or they may have to owe us some money or whatnot. But I think right now we're in a situation where the economy is just too high. It's just everything costs too much money. The interest rates are out of this world right now.
Okay, got it. By a show of fingers, who is less anxious about the state of the economy today as compared to when Trump took office on January 20th? Who's less anxious? 4 of you are less anxious. Ashley, why are you less anxious?
The tariffs that he's actually imposed and everything else kind of do benefit me, unlike some other people. I haven't seen certain price hikes in the grocery store like we were expecting and stuff like that. And it's not as horrible as everybody said it was going to be. And we're not in a recession, and it's okay. Like, we're not there yet.
Okay. Jason H., why are you less anxious?
There's more clarity over various financial markets. And personally, what I'm invested in and have been invested in, there's a lot more clarity. So I don't have to fear that things are going to get shut down randomly.
Alex, what about you?
I'm less anxious because it's a long-term strategy that ultimately will benefit us as a nation. And if you are anxious, it's probably because you're seeing the markets fluctuate and whatnot. But you have to understand that those markets, as they were designed around business practices that did not benefit us. So I mean, if I got to pay a couple more bucks for a Chinese made trinket or whatever, if it means that my kids or my grandkids could live in a more self-sufficient country, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Jason C., how come you're less anxious?
Yeah, it seems like it's not as bad as people were expecting it to be. I think there's a lot of hype about a crash or interest rates, things like that. From what I understand, it seems like home buying interest rates are going down. Yeah, it seems like the future is a lot more hopeful, like long term.
Okay. Thank you. By a show of fingers, who's more anxious about the state of the economy today as compared to when Trump took office on January 20th? Rashid, you are. Jennifer, you're
Yes.
neither more or less? Okay. Rashid, what's causing that anxiety?
Yeah, because of line of my works, I pay more for products I buy every day, and also because President Trump said prices will go down on day one, but like 6 months now. More.
He said prices would go down and you haven't seen them go down.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So I'd like to know who you think is more responsible for the state of the current U.S. economy. Joe Biden or Donald Trump? More responsible for the state of the current U.S. economy. So show of fingers, who says that Biden is more responsible for the state of the current U.S. economy? 4 of you do. And who says Trump? Jason and Rashid. Okay.
Might be thinking different because I think the U.S. economy is positive right now.
Okay. Those of you who said Biden, you think the economy is what? Not doing well?
It's good, but it could be better.
I think it's recovering.
Give the tariffs enough time to work.
Got it. Okay. By a show of fingers, who thinks President Trump has made a good case as to why tariffs are necessary? He's made a good case. Three of you. Ashley, what did he say that persuaded you?
It's just the simple fact that we've been charging countries too low for our goods, and they've been charging us too much. They charge us this amount, we're going to charge you this amount, exact same. And if you don't want to come to, and yes, he did raise it to begin with, the triple digits and everything else. He just wants people to come to a negotiating table, and he went out strong, yeah, to show that he's serious. He wants all these countries to come and say, hey, let's meet somewhere in the middle.
Okay. So I'd like to know whether, for the six of you, whether you support President Trump's actions on tariffs, oppose his actions on tariffs, or don't think you know enough to have an opinion either way. So by a show of fingers, who supports his actions on tariffs? Two of you, Ashley and Alex. Who opposes his actions on tariffs? None of you. And who doesn't know enough to have an opinion either way? Four of you. Okay. Alex, why do you support his action on tariffs?
I think he could have made a better. He could have got like some PR people to formulate a better argument and sell it to the American people than he did. But you know, I've been blessed enough to travel a lot of the world, and I've seen, you know, that you don't see American cars in Japan, but we've got millions of them on our roads. Same thing with Europe, you know, like, but by trying to implement reciprocal tariffs, you know, doing, you know, I'm going to do unto you as you do unto me. That's not unheard of. I mean, it's why wasn't it like that to begin with? Is you know the real question. So I see this as a market correction, damage control, whatever we've been getting taken advantage of, and you know, it's unsustainable. But you know, we're in debt. You know, we can't continue to. You know, they say a rising tide lifts all ships. Okay, well, we've been the rising tide for too long, and you know what? We got to look out for ourselves now because that's come at our own expense.
Okay. Ashley, why do you support?
I'm sorry, what?
Why do you support the president's actions on tariffs?
Kind of piggybacking off of Alex's, it should be equal. It should have been that way a long time ago. We've done so much for everybody else. It's about time we get ours.
Okay.
It's just, and also it's a mutual respect thing too. And if you think about it too, the Chinese with solar technology and everything else, and going on about that as well. But that's a different subject.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.